If you're just tuning in, this is the latest that's coming in on the Russia-Ukraine crisis. A bulk of Russian ground forces still more than 30 kilometers north of the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. But the capital remains under the control of Ukraine, as per the latest. A two-day curfew in the city has been lifted, with citizens now moving around. The Ukrainian delegation has arrived in Belarus for peace talks with Russia, with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky not a part of the delegation. The city of Chernihiv in the northeast has faced heavy shelling from Russian troops overnight but remains in Ukrainian hands. President Zelensky has appealed to the European Union to immediately admit Ukraine as a member under a new special procedure. The UN Human Rights Chief says that at least 102 civilians, including 7 children, had been killed in Ukraine, warning that the actual numbers were likely far higher. Meanwhile, Moscow's central bank is racing against time to contain the impact of the Western sanctions on the Russian economy by hiking the interest rates and banning brokers from selling securities held by the foreigners. Today is the 5th day of the Russian assault against Ukraine, and the Ukrainian military has said that Russian troops had slowed down the pace of the offensive. Let's first get you up to speed with the top developments. Russia and Ukraine will be holding talks at the Gomel region shortly. The composition of the Ukrainian delegation at the talks in Belarus not disclosed as of now, but reported to be rather high level, quote unquote. The Russian delegation has confirmed that Russia is interested in finding a way to agreement with the Ukrainian delegation as soon as possible. The Ukraine President's office says its main goal of talks with Russia is ceasefire and withdrawal of the Russian troops, although earlier the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky had said that he did not believe in the outcome of the meeting. Belarus said that the venue for the talks is now prepared.
Скажу відверто, як завжди, я не дуже вірю в результат цієї зустрічі, але нехай спробують. Щоб потім у жодного громадянина України не було жодного сумніву, що я, як президент, не намагався зупинити війну, коли був нехай і маленький, але все ж таки шанс.
According to reports, Russia's defense ministry says its forces have taken control of the Ukrainian cities of Berdyansk and Enerhodar, and Russian troops have also taken over an area around Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. The Russian army saying civilians can leave freely from the capital if they wish to do so, adding that Ukrainians are using civilians as human shields and also claiming air superiority in Ukraine. Reports saying Russia has lost around 5,300 troops since the invasion began. A blanket curfew that had been imposed in Kiev for the past 3 days has now been lifted, allowing students to move westward through trains. Blasts were reportedly heard in the Ukrainian capital of Kiev in the early hours of the 5th day of the Russian attack.